All right, we're having in the studio Charles Odii, who is the DG CEO, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria. That is SMED. Glad to have you join us on Newsnight, Charles. With reference to CIT, I mean, it's mentioned the company income tax, WST, withholding tax, and VAT, value-added tax, for businesses with less than 100 million. That's annually. How will the SMEs be affected?
Firstly, I want to thank you for this opportunity to discuss this tax reform bills. As at our last count, we have 39,654,385 nano, micro, small, and medium enterprises. And for us, we've categorized these businesses to be able to effectively support them. So a nano business in Nigeria today, from our last survey, are businesses that have less than 3 employees and are doing an annual turnover of less than 3 million. So it approximately means that that business is turning over 250,000 naira every month. So these are our traders, our mom and pop shops at the corner of the street, the ones that we patronize on a daily basis. The next category are businesses that have from 3 to 10 employees and are doing an annual turnover of less than 25 million naira. So from 3 to 10, less than annual revenue, less than 25. And the third category are those that have from 10 to 50 and are doing an annual turnover of less than 100 million. And so those are the small businesses. Then the last category are the medium businesses, those ones that have less than 200, so 50 to 200 employees, and are doing an annual turnover of $1 billion. So with this tax reform bill that's about to be passed, everyone who is in the nano, micro, small category will be eliminated from CIT. It means that these are people who actually generate less than 100 million naira in Nigeria. And from our data, it shows that 98% of the 39 million actually are in this category.
Wow.
Of course, if we take 10 businesses in Nigeria, 9.5% of them are nano, micro, small businesses. Nano, micro, small, or medium businesses. They accumulate, this ecosystem accumulates or accounts for 96% of all the businesses in Nigeria. So the big boys, were like the Airtel, Arise, are just in the 4% category.
Wow.
But the other, everyone else falls on that small and medium.
They are running the economy.
They are the ones running the economy. We're responsible for 50% of Nigeria's GDP. We're responsible for approximately 80 million jobs in Nigeria today. 55% of our retail jobs, 70% of our industrial jobs are from this MSME economy. And so what the tax reform bill is set to do is to actually remove some of the bottlenecks, actually remove some of these charges, the burdens, the hurdles from this small business ecosystem. So right now, we've started the sensitization, engaging the small businesses as regards what these tax reform bills will do for them and how they can actually take advantage of this tax reform bill so that they can now start to engage their elected legislative members, either in the House of Reps or in the Senate, to actually see that these tax reform bills are passed into law speedily.
Now, you said you started, I think you said sensitization, right? That's why I will ask you this question. This was done here in Abuja. What are your plans, or do you have any such plans to communicate this across? Information is power. So do you have plans to communicate this across the entire country?
Absolutely.
So they would know.
Absolutely.
What plans are there?
So we're using a double-edged approach. The first is using technology, using social media to actually enlighten and churn out a lot of infographics and information as regards this tax reform bill. But more importantly, engage physically on the ground. We have 36 state offices, including the FCT, and all our state managers have been informed, and we are going around we started in Abuja, and we're going around to 36 states to make sure that we meet with our business member organizations, our trade unions, our cooperatives, bring them together, and bring the heads of the association together so that we can actually relate to them what this bill means and how they can take advantage of this bill.
For those who are listening, because I just heard you, and when I had that in the report, I thought about myself, really, when they said payee, you won't pay tax. So I said, whoa, I won't be paying tax. But apparently that is not for my level.
So 4 levels of taxes. Withholding tax, you don't pay. If maybe yourself or your wife actually run a small business, you stop paying withholding tax, you stop paying value-added tax. For payee for less than 100,000.
So for those, I hope you're listening, that if you're earning less than 100,000, you won't pay tax. That's what you're saying.
Payee, yes.
That's interesting.
Then the company income tax less than 100 million, you don't pay tax.
Okay, yeah, we got all that. Now, generally speaking, how would this new tax system reshape Nigeria's business environment?
Firstly, we've seen a lot of violence on small business owners. Small business owners have been saddled and discombobulated with different taxes. Small business owners pay, from our engagement with them, we find out that they pay taxes for signages in front of their businesses, they pay taxes for radio, they pay taxes for licenses for TV. For some, they say that the water that passed through their drainage system into the gutter, they pay taxes for those things. It is a lot of taxes, different layers. For those in our smallholder farmers, they pay some level of levy as they move the products from the farm to the market. Even at the market, some people come to disturb them. All of these things we have labeled as nuisance tax. If we eliminate all these nuisance tax, because they are actually hindering business growth, business development in Nigeria, especially for our small businesses. And so we're excited that all of this will be eliminated. The tax body will then be seen as one body where everybody knows what tax they ought to pay. They know who's supposed to help them with the taxes. And right now, from this reform bill, if somebody comes to you, because right now some taxmen just, wake up one morning and slam our small business owners with very ridiculous prices in terms of taxes, to say that you've done business for this long and these are the taxes that you have to pay. On our own, we're starting to sensitize our small business owners to continue to keep records, to show that transactions and receipts are intact, so that when these things happen, when they're confronted by these taxmen who have sometimes the state backing behind them, we have in this tax reform bill something called the ombudsman, who will help them to fight their battles, make sure that they are only taxed the amount that they ought to pay, not the amount that the taxpayers just slam on them.
Policies are good, laws are good, but my country, Nigeria, is a very special case.
It is.
When it comes to implementation. Talk to us about implementation.
I think that implementation will be
because somebody said to me the other day, a bad budget with good implementation can turn out a good one. A good budget with bad implementation becomes hogwash.
So this is a good bill, and the implementation, as soon as the president signs it into bill, we are going to make sure that the implementation is seamless. Of course, we can't be in all the local governments at the same time and trying to, stop some of the bad implementers of old ways of collecting taxes. But we are said to our small business owners, just basically adhere to the policies. And when anyone comes to you, try and make sure that you get a receipt. For my engagement, some of our small businesses have gone to the extent of fighting this taxman. One had said that he brought out a cutlass and he was going to attack him to say, you have never done anything for me and now you want to collect this kind of time. I say, no, don't resort to violence. If somebody comes to you and say pay something, pay, but make sure you get that receipt. Because when we get that receipt, then we can now start to advocate for you to getting your money with even some interest back. Because only then...
You know how difficult it is at times for you to pay and get money back? Why don't you people stop it at the root? Why don't you work at stopping it at the root? Let them not pay the money.
That's what we're doing with the enlightenment and sensitization campaign. That's what we're doing with the engagement. And and that's why I like the work that Arise is doing, right? Because in time past, government has done a lot. And right now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is doing a lot of things. But what's happening is that the people that the government is doing it for do not know. So there's this disconnect. And our job is to bridge that gap. Make sure that the ordinary man, the person who does not have the contact of the governor or the local government chairman in his area, can actually understand what policy that is and make the whole policy work for them. Because this is an administration where the son of a nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody. What we're trying to do...
Son of a nobody can become somebody without... It looks
Absolutely.
like a tongue. What do you call that? Son of a nobody without knowing anybody.
Without knowing anybody, can actually take
somebody.
advantage, yes. And there are different other policies, like the student loans, which is actually something phenomenal.
All right, we're going to stop it there, Charles Odii. DG/CEO, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria. That is SMEDA. Thank you for being on.
Thank you.